sit down to make a video, and then the garbage truck comes. I was downstairs putting all my laundry into the washing machine, and my sister opened the garage door. We have one of those garage code clickers, and I opened the door from the laundry room to the garage, and I looked out, because it was terrifying, right? I wasn't expecting anyone to be home. I was the only one home, and she's supposed to be gone all day. She works full time. So I opened the door to the garage, and I poked my head out, and I saw it was her, and I was like, oh God, it was you. You scared me. And then, of course, but by doing that, I scared her because she wasn't expecting to see me there. And so it was just one of those moments where you look at somebody and you're both startled, and then you get over it because it's like not a problem. We have this joke in my family when somebody comes in the front door unexpectedly, like they had left and they came back earlier or later than they were supposed to, we always go, get the knife. This comes from one time when I came home through the garage and my sister wasn't expecting me to come home, and she grabbed a knife from the knife block and was standing with it in the kitchen in case I wasn't who I was supposed to be. It still happens. Like, we still say get the knife even when it's clearly who it's supposed to be and not a terrifying situation at all. Some other weird things about my family. My dad has mentioned Snooki 3 times this week. My dad is almost 60 and a retirement benefits lawyer and totally just like a mild, intelligent, kind of quiet, reserved guy. He mostly keeps to himself. He's ridiculously smart. Like, he should go on Jeopardy, but that's not the point. The point is, he's never seen the Jersey Shore, but he's mentioned Snooki 3 times in this past week. I have no idea why he has Snooki on the brain, but apparently he does. I have a cat. She's been in a couple of videos before, but every time we feed her, we prepare her food at the kitchen counter because it's wet food, it stays in the refrigerator. And she knows when we're doing this, obviously, because she's hungry and she can smell it, and so we're cutting the food and putting it into her bowl, and she circles the island. She literally just goes around and around and around, and she like causes me to trip over her, and I'm telling her like, hey, Naomi, I realize you have no idea what I'm saying, but could you not trip me when I'm trying to feed you? Thanks, I appreciate it. I hate Murphy's Law, and I also hate train tracks. Obviously, rail travel is great. I've taken the train a couple times up to Seattle. Sometimes train tracks just get in the way. I'm interning for a photographer this summer, and I had to run some errands for her. I had to go buy some flowers, and then when I was leaving, I was going home. When I leave her house, I have to cross these train tracks to get to the other side where my house is. I cross these train tracks all the time. I go to the library on the other side of the train tracks, her house on the other side of the train tracks, all this stuff. I always cross these train tracks. I had never been stopped by a train before, but there was one day last week in which I was stopped by the train twice. The first time it was like 10:30 in the morning, and the second time it was like 9 o'clock at night. The first time I was in a hurry, so of course Murphy's Law, you get stopped by the train when you're in a hurry. The second time I was exhausted. We had just done a photo shoot, and it was like I really wanted to get home, but of course the train, it wasn't even that the train was just passing by and then they opened the things and you can just pass through again. The train came in, stopped, and I was literally sitting there in my car for a good 10 minutes before the train started going again. Needless to say, I'm not a huge fan of trains these days.